everyone, Augie Cruz here, and today we're going to discuss how to maximize points and miles for travel. But I want to make a quick disclaimer right before we get started. One is that I initially wanted to share how to maximize points and miles in order for congregations throughout the United States to use these points and miles in order to reduce their airfare costs while they're supporting mission trips across the world. And number two is to take advantage of these points and miles to share adventures and travel and memories with friends and families. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's get started with the points and miles game. Now, when you talk about the points and miles game, you're going to have to use credit cards. Regardless of how you look at it, in order to maximize travel for almost free or nearly free, you're going to have to use credit cards. In order to get a credit card, you're just going to have to do a couple of things. So today, before we actually get started with a credit card, I want to set you up for success with 5 tips that you need to prepare yourself for before next week's video. You need to have a credit score of 680 or above, good to excellent credit. I know it might seem a little high and out of reach, but that's what's required in order to get these credit cards. They're gonna help you travel for free or nearly free as we move along in the process. Number 2 is that you need to have a credit card utilization of 30% or less, preferably 10% or less. So an example, you have 2 credit cards and each of them have a limit of $500. So each of them together have a limit of $1,000. If you use 300 of that $1,000, then that's 30%. If you use 100 of that $1,000, that's 10%. Number 3 is that you want to see that you have no late payments in the last 24 months prior to applying for a credit card. Okay, no late payments prior 24 months before applying for a new credit card. Number 4 is the number of hard inquiries you have on your credit report. Now this refers to credit card hard inquiries. You want to have less than 5 in the last 24 months because there are specific rules with certain lenders that they have this thing called a 524 rule where they don't want to see those more than 5 inquiries in 24 months from the date of the next application, or they'll automatically disapprove you. And the 5th and final and most, I think, important tip is that you need to have a mindset change of making your credit card simulate a debit card. So just like a debit card, as soon as you use it, the money's withdrawn from your account and it's paid, right? And you're good to go. Well, the same thing you need to have with the credit card. Either you set automatic payments or you pay it off as soon as it hits your statement, but you need to utilize your credit card as a debit card. Okay, so those are the 5 things you need to get together before we go over our first credit card next week. Thank you for following along. Honor the fallen. God bless.